Question number 5. Are all cars quick? And is it the driver or the car?
the biggest debate.
Yeah.
So it could be 23 very soon.
And I had also Machakos.
Alfred Mutua needs to update us on that.
We need a Machakos GP.
He was once working on that, but he went mute.
He worked on it on paper.
Can you imagine Machakos GP?
That would be
Kenyan
awesome.
GP.
That would be so awesome. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because as we go this way, the faster. But as you come this way, the more durable. Yeah. So I last long, but I'm not that quick. But he will. Pause. Hey, yo.
You will go to Formula 1. Speaking of Formula 1. You guys are in agreement with all of that, yeah?
Yeah.
Where was all this knowledge during the quiz?
No, he's clever.
Yeah, I've been doing my research, man.
The 80, but you know the name material. Hello people, welcome to the Peep in the Open podcast, and we are back. My name is Paul and I'm joined by my boys Kev, and look who is back.
What's up?
Yeah, he's back after hiding, you know.
Yeah, man, I had to take care of a few things, but I'm back.
Nah, I think he was hiding after the 6.
No, I was not hiding.
So jump.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're back, guys. So today we're gonna be doing, explaining a few concepts, a few terms, which you might hear us using, or you might hear them being used during a race, and you might wonder what they mean when they say that. You know, F1 has this tendency of using
crazy terms.
Yeah. But in actual sense, they're really simple concepts. So we're gonna review some of those concepts with you. It's a sharing platform. We are here to enlighten you. And we're also here to learn, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So some of these comments are just, you know, what people have told us, you know, what do they say when they mean this, and we're just gonna do a review. So we have them in
I have them here, I have them on my phone. So I'll just be reading them out loud, and we'll be having an open discussion. Explaining to you guys point by point what all these terms mean.
Yeah.
So the first one is, what is F1 and what does it stand for? Paul, will take this one?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so F1, like F and 1, is an abbreviation for Formula 1. So it's like the pinnacle of motorsport competition. Yeah, it's like the highest level of motorsport competition. And yeah, that's basically it. So F is formula and 1 is just 1.
Right, question number 2.
Oh, you're in agreement?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You're not in agreement, you're allowed to object.
No, we'll object whenever we see there's something here that's off.
Okay.
Right, question number 2. How many teams are in F1?
Yeah.
And how many drivers? And name the drivers for all these teams. I think we can split that.
Yeah, okay.
Can take 3-3-4.
3-3-4.
That's a formation.
4-3-3.
Yeah.
So go first, the 4.
Do
Do this, name the 4 teams and their drivers.
Okay,
if you're not able, we can help.
I think I'll go with the A teams.
Yeah.
Aston Martin. They have Lance Stroll. And currently Sebastian Vettel, but for the next year they'll be having Fernando Alonso as one of the new drivers. Alpha Tauri. Alpha Tauri is like Red Bull's sister team. The drivers are Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda.
And Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
Let's go to Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo, the drivers are Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas. And what's this guy like? Zhou Guanyu. He's Japanese, so the pronunciation is a little tricky, but I'm pretty sure it's Zhou Guanyu.
Yeah.
And then which other A team do we have?
Alpine.
Alpine's drivers are Fernando Alonso currently, though this is last year at Alpine. And he drives alongside Esteban Ocon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You guys are in agreement with all of that, yeah?
Yeah.
Where was all this knowledge during the quiz?
No,
Tell us.
he's clever.
Yeah, I've been doing my
The
research,
A-team.
man.
With the A-team, but you know the name material.
Sit down with this,
Yeah.
It's okay, we go next.
I'm gonna take the top teams because you took the A teams.
Yeah.
I was number one. I'm gonna take
you
the top teams. Yeah. So we're gonna start with Red Bull. They have last year's champion Max Verstappen.
See,
Yeah.
don't say defending world champion.
The
Give some
defending.
respect.
Okay. We have the defending champion Max Verstappen and his teammate Sergio Perez. Then we're going to the team which finished second last season, Mercedes, where we have your favorite driver Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, his fellow Brit.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go to the third team, Ferrari, where we have Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Then the fourth team, my favorite team, the McLaren, where we have Ricciardo and Lando Norris, who's my favorite driver.
Yeah.
Are you in
Alright.
agreement?
We're in agreement.
So those are 8 teams, so only 2 more to go.
It is
That's the Haas.
That's the Haas
Yeah.
and
And,
the Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the Haas, we have definitely the son of the great Michael Schumacher, Mick Schumacher, with his teammate Kevin Magnussen. Yeah?
Yeah.
And for the Williams, we have Alexander Albon and Nicolas Latifi. Yeah, so those are your 10 teams and 20 drivers.
All right. So, how many races are there in an F1 calendar per year, on average?
I think every year it has changed, every season.
It changes from
They-
year
they've
to year.
changed
for sure.
recently,
Yeah.
and because they are still adding tracks, circuits. So currently it's 22.
The previous year it was how many?
I think 21.
21.
20, yeah.
So let's say it ranges between 20 to 22.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
becoming teams. The drivers, some of them are not okay with that
Why?
because it's like taking too much out of their.
Don't shorter.
Yeah, they want like 20, maximum 21.
For the fans, we definitely want more.
Yeah, because
They want a longer break, basically.
yeah,
Understandable.
it's from. Is it May to
March
March
all the way to November. if I'm
yeah?
not wrong.
That's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
and you have to take into account that they keep on traveling. You know.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you could be in a foreign country this week,
Yeah.
and you have to travel to another foreign country
Yeah.
the next week, and the work continues throughout the week.
Yeah, so rumor has it South Africa apparently can become now the 23rd circuit.
Yeah. I had that.
Yeah,
It used to be they used to use it back in the day,
Yeah,
but then
back
they
in the
stopped
day,
for some
yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
so it could be 23 very soon.
And I had also Machakos.
Alfred
Yeah.
Mutua needs to update us on that.
We
man.
need a Machakos GP.
He was once working on that, but he went mute.
We worked on it on paper.
Can you imagine Machakos GP?
That would be
Kenyan
awesome.
GP, yeah.
That would be so awesome.
Oh my god.
People will be flooding there on Friday.
Yeah.
Masaku Seven.
The new Masaku Sevens. So guys, now question number 4. Explain how a race weekend looks like from from Friday all the way through to Sunday.
So 3 days. We are 3
Those are
of
3
us.
days. Yeah, you'll take Friday, you take Saturday, I'll take Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, Formula 1 race weekend begins on Friday and ends on Sunday. So you have 2 formats. You have the normal race format and we have the sprint race format. So for the normal race format on Friday, what happens on Friday is we have practice sessions 1 and 2. That's for the normal race. So basically these 2 sessions is just about getting to the new track or getting to the circuit, learning about the circuit, learning about the performance of the car, you know, in terms of tires, you know, if you have upgrades, different variations of the car. So it's all about basically testing and collecting all this data so that you can make a good race weekend car. So that is for the normal race. And for the sprint race, on Friday we do have qualifying and practice session 1. Yeah, so practice session 1 for sprint race is again just learning about the car, learning about the track, familiarize yourself with, you know, all the things you need to do. And then come qualifying is, as you know, qualifying is all about grid positions. So qualifying in the sprint race informs you how you're gonna line up come the sprint race on Saturday. So you guys go on Saturday, what happens on a normal race?
On a normal race, so as he has explained, there's the P1 practice session 1 and 2 on Friday. So on Saturday, there's a practice session 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the practice session 3, the cars are dialed in. We go to the qualifying.
Yeah.
So during the qualifying is 1 hour, right?
Yeah, it's 1 hour.
Yeah, split into 3 parts.
Minutes,
20 minutes of
Q1,
Q2, and Q3.
Yeah.
So at each qualifying, they'll
Could explain for them what happens in Q1.
I think there's another question
Q3.
about that.
Is there a question about that?
okay. So if there's a question about that, that's fairly simple. So
Yeah.
on Saturday after the qualifying, we go to Sunday, right?
Yeah. So qualifying sorts out the grid positions. Now comes Sunday's race.
On Sunday is when the main race happens. They'll be in the order that they all qualified in on Sunday.
Yeah.
Either through the sprint race format, or the usual format through qualifying.
Yeah.
So on Sunday they line up exactly how they ended up after qualifying on Saturday. And sometimes you might get a grid penalty
Yeah. So
if
start at the
you
back.
happen to change like a power unit. So you start at the back and you have to work your way up to the front.
Yeah. So I think that explains.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Question number 5. Are all cars quick? And is it the driver
Here we
or
go.
the car?
The biggest debates.
Yeah. First of all, I think all cars are quick. Some are just quicker than the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you'll find the margins are like on little details
Yeah.
that the cars have different. Yeah.
Yeah, but that point is always contested because you have drivers who underperform in a very good car,
yeah.
and some drivers overperform in a
poor car.
So they're like, what if we put
Exactly
this driver?
what's happening at McLaren at the moment.
Yeah. We've seen it a lot of times, even with Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. He couldn't
Get to the levels
level
that
from
Lewis
Hamilton.
was.
Yeah.
We've seen it with the former Red Bull drivers, Max Verstappen, with Pierre Gasly struggle. Even this season, Sergio Perez is not it's not really there with the
He's
cars.
really struggling. It's
Yeah.
not like Max Verstappen.
So I think in short, it's a bit of both.
But can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Let's say within the team, the 2 different cars, they're not usually like dialed in the same, right?
The parts are the same, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe there's one who loves when the car is maybe very pointy.
Yeah, okay.
Someone else.
Someone
loves,
prefers understeer, someone prefers oversteer.
Yeah, like I know Sergio Perez likes a car with a bit of understeer.
I'm not too sure. I think it's oversteer.
What I know about Max Verstappen loves a very pointy car.
Yeah.
Like when you're too easy, go. Some people don't like that.
I think that's the oversteering, yeah?
Yeah, that's oversteer. So it just depends with when you're talking to your race engineer or your mechanics, you're like, when you go for practice session 1, you're like, not yet. Go back to the garage. Tengeneza hiyo kitu bana. Inasikia
So that
bado.
the setup feels just right for the race.
So
on
the parts are the same, the car is the same, but setup is different. Ikawa wenyewe unaweza ingia kwa gari wanataka kiti ikiwa hapo.
Sunday.
So yeah, it's a very big debate though.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's also like, is it the driver of the car? I think it's a team effort between the team, the driver, and the car. Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't always guarantee results, even if you do find a way to work together. Sometimes it's just a poor car, and you really need to like sort of prepare yourselves from what you've learned from that car to make a better car for the following year, because they do make different cars for each year.
And you can also make a better car and it still doesn't improve anything.
I mean, I think at that point you have to fix the driver. It's the driver that's the issue, no?
But I think
With Ferrari, can you say it's the driver that's the issue?
No, Ferrari is definitely.
I think for the driver,
the team, the strategizing.
I think for the driver, what you can judge it is the driver making progress year after year. you know, can you see a progression? Can you see his maturity?
Yeah.
Like for example, when I look at Mick Schumacher,
Yeah.
when he came in, he was very rusty. He used to, spin, cause serious accidents. But nowadays, he looks like he's learning, getting there. So you can judge a driver's progression, just like Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is really this driver has been from team to team, but you can see his growth. You can see how he's become mature as a driver. Even Max Verstappen. You remember people used to say this guy is just crushing it, he's too aggressive, but he's fine-tuned his racecraft. So I think for the driver you can always judge by their growth in terms of their racing.
Even if it's small things are improving so long as they're making progress.
But Ferrari, you have good drivers, but then the team is
The
just
strategy, man. Ferrari letting us down.
Yeah, anyway, I think that explains it.
Yeah, so question number 7. Question number 6. I think this one will take turns explaining. Explain the point system in Formula 1. So I can start with the top maybe 10, and then you guys can do the rest.
No,
Actually,
it is just top 10.
It is just top 10. So I can explain under normal race circumstances what happens, and then you can explain under sprint race what happens. So in normal race conditions, you'll find that only the top 10 are awarded points. From number 11 to number 20, they are not awarded any points. Number 1 is awarded 25 points. Number 2 is awarded 18 points. And then from number 3 through to 10, it's 15, and then it goes subtracting minus 3 all the way to 10. So it's 15, 12, 9, and so forth. So for the fastest lap,
during the
race, so long as you're in the top 10, you get an extra point.
Oh, as long as you're in the top 10.
You have to be in the top 10. If you're in the bottom 10, you don't get that fastest lap point.
So let's say during like what we saw with Albon, I think, bro,
In
you have. I don't think
in Australia.
He came in, put on the tires, and okay, I'm not sure.
But he finished number 10.
I finished number 10.
Yeah.
Okay, basically.
Australia.
Yeah.
He finished number 10. They really had the strategy on point that day.
So he's saying like the fastest lap during a race, you get 1 point, 1 extra point.
What about does driver of the day get a point?
Nah.
No. That one, because it's the fans who
It's just
select
fans
the
who
driver of the day.
Oh, okay.
So you might get like a little accolade, but I don't think you get a point for that.
Yeah, so now for the sprint race, the point system is now during the sprint race, the top 8 are awarded. So it's like 8, 7, 6, 5, and up to number 8. And then after we've been awarded during the sprint race, now for the race, the same format now.
Applies.
Applies.
Right. We're in agreement?
Yeah.
Agreement.
Awesome. So, question number 7. This one is going to be long for sure. Explain the tire compounds.
Okay.
So, how are we going to do this? You start Paul?
I'll explain. Okay, so we have 2 different sets of tire compounds, 2 categories. We have the dry tires, we have the dry compound tires, and we have the wet compound tires. So the dry compound tires are used when the track is dry, and the wet are used when the track is, wet or damp, like after, during a rain or after a rain. So for the dry compounds, we have 3.
3 tires.
So I'm gonna name the 3 compound tires according to, and then you're gonna explain.
Okay.
So I'm the hard compound tires, he's the mediums, and he's the softs. So for the mediums, it's identified with a white stripe. So theoretically,
Sorry,
The mediums are hards.
I'm the hards.
Yeah.
I'm the hards, he's the mediums. So the hards are identified with a white stripe, and theoretically it's the slowest out of the 3, but it lasts longer. So for me, I can go up to maybe 40 laps, 45 laps, but I'll be slower per lap. It's like 0.4 seconds slower than the mediums.
I'm not sure.
Because as we go this way, the faster, but as you come this way, the more durable. So I last long, but I'm not that quick. But he will. Pause. Hey, yo. He will go.
Formula One. Formula One.
He'll go shorter than me, but he'll be a bit quicker.
Yeah.
And then this guy is the quickest, but he will even last.
The tires really run through really quickly.
Yeah.
Which one would you choose?
So this is a hard tire. So Kevin explained it.
Yeah, so the mediums are identified by the yellow nini. Yeah. So as he said, the mediums are a bit faster than the hards, but they are a bit less durable.
Yeah.
So the hards can take you to about 40 laps, the mediums from I think 30 to 35 over there. Yeah, so as he's explained, I'm a bit faster, but not as fast.
As a soft tire, I'm the fastest. So, the soft tire, it has a red lining on the tire. It's the fastest tire on track, but it wears out the fastest.
Yeah.
So you might have put on or started your race with soft tires, but you'll have to pit earlier than probably someone who's on medium or hard tires.
Yeah. And this is where now the tire strategy comes in. So you find during a race weekend you're supposed to pit twice. Okay. I think there's a pit stop. We shall explain.
There's a mandatory pit stop.
Yeah.
But only under normal race conditions.
Yeah. I think there's a pit stop question we can explain when we get there.
So that was for the
dry compounds. And now we have the wet compounds where we have the intermediates and the fully wets. The intermediates are like, is it green?
The intermediates
are the ones which you put
they're the green ones.
Yeah.
The wets are the blue.
Yeah. When the track is not really wet but it's slippery, you don't want to go on the soft like we saw with Vettel and with Lando Norris.
Was it in Hungary?
I think.
Where there was a massive accident first lap.
When Valtteri Bottas
ran into Lando.
That
was Hungary last year.
Yeah, he took out both Red Bulls. Yeah, so when the track is not really wet, put on the intermediates, but when the track is full of water, you have to put on the full wets, which are like the blue stripe.
And they're specially designed to disperse the water to create a dry line for the cars to
almost, they say it's like, is it 30 liters per rotation?
Per rotation, for
imagine. Yeah, that's why when they are driving during the wet, you see all this spray. But they disperse and then you can see the line.
They create the dry patch for the guys to
and everybody you can see following that line. So
if you happen to go off that line, you never know.
In the barriers.
So I think that pretty much covers that.
Right.
What is a pit stop in Formula One?
You want to explain that one, bro?
Can't take that one. I'll pass on that.
I'll pass on that. Okay. So a pit stop is fairly simple. Like as we've explained with the tires, sometimes the tires they wear out quickly, and the driver needs to go into the pit stop to change the tire. So like I don't know I can explain, but a pit stop it's like going to your area.
You're going to their own garage. So like there's this diversion on the track where you have to go into the pit, so that pit lane. And then your mechanics are waiting for you with the tires, or if you need to fix, maybe your wing is broken. If they need to change something, you have to go into the garage.
You could also be serving a penalty maybe for an infringement on track. Like say you caused a collision. You could enter the pits and you serve your penalty. It's called a standing penalty.
It's like a standing.
Basically you sit still for about like 5 to 10 seconds, which feels like forever in the moment.
Pit stop are really. Which is the best team to watch changing tires?
When changing tires, has to be Red Bull and the team Ferrari. I feel like we've been pretty good on pit stops this year.
This year
strategy not so much, but the pit stops are.
But
pretty
Red
fast.
Bull, my God. Red Bull pit stops are quick.
This guy for. There's a time Mercedes also double stacked last year. When they still had Valtteri Bottas driving for their team. Man, they timed it to perfection. As Lewis was going, you really have to time it to perfection and be as fast as possible.
I remember like a couple of races ago, Carlos Sainz messing up on the pit stop. That's why I got the 5-second penalty.
unsafe release.
Yeah, unsafe release.
Yeah, in France.
Yeah.
So with Ferrari, I've seen them fumble a lot on the pit stops. I can't beat Ferrari because they always pull a 4.5. I've actually seen even a 5.3 during the pit stops.
No, you see that happens like when you have changed like the tires and then there's someone maybe the rear
someone made a slight mistake
trying to pull out the tire. These guys are like, yo, banana.
That happens. Mistakes do happen.
Yeah, so that's a pit stops. Literally just coming to your garage, changing something, and then getting out of the truck again.
And every team is allocated their own space for that.
Yeah. But the sound is, I love those guns.
Yeah. And they're so quick with it. So guys, we're in agreement on that?
Yeah.
Right. Question number 9. What is a safety car? I take that?
Yeah, I should take that.
Right. A safety car, it's, first of all, there's a safety car and a virtual safety car in Formula 1. The safety car is a physical car that allows, that slows down the drivers whenever maybe there's there's rain on track, which can cause possible accidents or collisions on track. You find that the safety car comes in to sort of neutralize the whole race, slow people down for their safety, or in case there is maybe a lot of like debris on track that needs to be cleared, they might bring in a yellow flag, which means the race continues but the drivers slow down, or red flag.
So the yellow flag comes first, and then we have maybe they choose between a safety car.
Yeah, depending on the conditions on track at that moment.
So when they choose a full safety car, there has to be a red flag.
Not necessarily.
A red flag means you have to go to the pit and stop.
Yeah, the race stops completely.
So what happens during a red flag, so those cars you go to the pit, and then you see that pit lane line on the tarmac, they stop there, and then whatever is being handled is handled. So that happens in extreme situations where, you know, it will take a bit of time maybe to fix that situation. Maybe there's a big crash. So, as it said, a full safety car is when that safety car is deployed when there's an incident on track, which needs, when the safety nature of the marshals or, the safety car is just neutralize the grid. And then the cars will follow that safety car, and then after the safety car,
the race continues as per usual.
So, Kev, so when is a virtual safety car deployed? VSC.
Put me on the spot. Just take that one.
Okay, so a VSC is the word suggests virtual. It's not a full safety car, so the safety car does not come to the track. So what happens is the drivers get the yellow flag when an incident happens, but this time around, maybe the marshals or the incident is not like, you know, a major safety issue. So the drivers can slow down, you're not supposed to overtake, so you're put to a certain delta. And the marshals can come in, do quickly, maybe the car is stuck somewhere, they can just push it to a runoff area, or the debris just...
I had they decreased speed by 35% for all the drivers.
And you're not, and then your engineer puts it to a certain delta, so you're not supposed to go beyond speed. So during the VSC, once the situation is sorted,
there's a green flag.
And so it just and it can catch some people out, like we saw with the Battery Bottas and was it George
Russell and Sergio Perez.
Sergio Perez was sleeping after the restart. Was it?
In France. Russell just
then Russell was
came right past him.
So that was a VSC because who had spun? Someone had spun.
I'm not too sure to be honest.
But that's the difference.
So there's a question that was asked last week that you missed out on. Or someone was asking, is virtual safety car an entertainment killer?
Yeah, in my opinion it is sometimes, because I mean you could have built up a gap between you and the driver who is behind you, say about 5-7 seconds, which is a pretty big gap in race terms. And so when the virtual safety car is in play,
You're supposed to say
guys have to
when Nicolas Latifi happens.
exactly like in Abu Dhabi last year, guys have to now come closer, which makes it easier for the guy who's behind you trying to overtake you. So for me, it's an entertainment killer for sure.
I prefer the full safety car because after the safety car restart, you can see like in Silverstone.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful race. But now the VSC just it's like
what's the point?
But you can have a compromise on
But
safety.
I think sometimes when it comes to the aspect of entertainment, like the George Russell overtake.
Yeah. But it's so rare to see during a VSC.
Yeah.
It's all
It's so rare to see when a VSC happens.
rare to do what?
To see like that overtake George
That
Russell.
sort of scenario.
Yeah. Oh, it's all rare.
In a
It comes.
VSC, it's so rare. But in a full safety car, the restart is so entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, but if the guy behind you is on maybe fresher tires,
You're done.
soft tires to be precise, which are the fastest compound, you're done.
Charles Leclerc experienced that.
Right through you.
Charles Leclerc did not
Yeah,
damage the
at
tires.
Silverstone.
All these people had like new softs made.
At Silverstone, he had hard tires,
Yeah.
the rest had soft tires.
You're just a sitting duck.
All came through, man.
Yeah. So next question.
So yeah, next question. What is a lockup?
We're gonna take that one.
A lockup. Yeah, a lockup is like over braking. Like you misjudge a braking zone, and then what you have to do is like you panic or maybe you just go hard on the brakes. And so what happens is like you flat spot your tire. So you like the brakes will go so hard on the tire, and then instead of the tire rotating, so it just skids along the tarmac, and you see smoke, which is a bad thing because once you do that, you flat spot your tire and you get vibrations and your tire will be degraded.
And it slows you down.
Yeah. So yeah, a lockup is when a driver misjudges a braking point and then they go hard on the brakes, then the tires just skid. Yeah.
You just see the smoke coming out of the mini.
Yeah.
of
The tire that's affected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, what is the halo?
Hello.
I think I'll take this one. The halo is for safety purposes for all F1 drivers. All the cars for all the 10 teams on the grid have the halo. Now the halo is positioned from where the driver sits in the Formula 1 car. The halo is sort of above and around him.
Yeah.
So that when the car maybe rolls over, instead of the driver being hit when it overturns, it's the halo that takes the hit.
Yeah.
So utapata the car maybe glides along the track, but that keeps the driver safe because the driver is also locked up with like two safety belts in the cockpit. Yeah.
And we've seen so many instances where it has come to
it has really rescued a lot of
really
people.
rescued a lot of people.
Like for example Silverstone.
Yeah. That first lap.
Yeah. There was a first lap incident.
Jean, no.
Yeah. That guy was really saved. He rolled a bunch of times, but the halo came to the rescue and kept him safe. Not even a scratch.
Even last season when Verstappen's car got on top of Hamilton.
Yeah,
but that's what saved Hamilton by there, because there were tire marks on Hamilton's helmet. Yeah.
So
you can imagine if the halo wasn't there. Hamilton, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I think that explains it.
Guys, what is the DRS and the DRS activation zone?
So I'll take that one. The DRS stands for a drag reduction system. Yeah. And it's activated when a driver you're trying to overtake. If you are less than a second to him, you can activate it. So what happens when you activate the DRS zone is the rear flaps open, right?
The rear flap opens.
Yeah, and
you get more airflow.
Yeah, you get more airflow, which reduces the guys who did physics.
Yeah.
You understand this?
Uses resistance.
Yeah, it reduces the resistance, and you're able to
shoot through the air like a bullet mate.
It allows for easier overtaking, basically.
Yeah. Can you add to that?
The
the
second
DRS
part
zones.
Yeah, so the DRS zones
DRS activation
are the activation zones. So once you're within a DRS zone and you're within a second of the car in front of you, that's when you can activate it. So, which means it's not like the driver can just use it anyhow. You know, the engineers are checking on that 1 second and whether the driver is in the DRS zone. So if you're within the DRS zone, the engineer tells you, yo, deploy finger button. And so you can get all that speed.
Has there been a situation where a driver has activated it when it's like more than a second behind the driver?
Can't read.
Unless it's a sort of DRS train where they are closely together, I don't think people do that. It wouldn't make sense because it wouldn't help your performance.
It's monitored. It's monitored.
Next question. What is the podium?
Us three.
So I'll take that one. So the podium is where the 3 drivers who finished top 3 on the final day on Sunday after the main race, where they stand and are awarded with the whatever it is they've won for the particular race they've gone to, because each track has different accolades for the top 3 drivers. So as we had explained earlier, the point system, number 1 gets 25 points, number 2 gets 18 points, and number 3 gets 15 points. Other than that, you're awarded like a trophy. There's usually champagne shower where they celebrate with their teams and maybe their family. So that's what the podium is for.
It's like the one we see in athletics. Like the first one stands in the middle, the highest step, then you have the second and the third, and then they just pop champagne.
Actually, we're actually seated based on our quiz on the podium.
This guy, this guy. Cannot have a break.
I would let you rest.
Yo, that's not right. Guys, so we're in agreement on that?
Yeah.
Right, next question. Explain qualifying and what yellow, purple, and green sectors mean as far as qualifying is concerned.
I think I'll take that one. Right. So like as we said earlier, so a Formula 1 race weekend begins on Friday and ends on Sunday. So on Saturday, for the normal race, we have the qualifying, and for the sprint race, qualifying is on Friday. So qualifying is a speed shootout for the grid positioning. So what we have is like we have 1 hour where cars go for the fastest lap. So the drivers are just chasing the fastest lap. So to help them do that, we have sectors on the track. So you can find the first sector on the track is like from the starting point to maybe turn 4, and then from turn 4 to the twisty bit is like the second sector, and the final sector or the third sector is like now from the last corner all the way back to the
start
finish. So so during qualifying, it's divided into 3 sessions. We have Q1, which is like the first 20 minutes. So the drivers go out there, put in your fastest lap, but the slowest 5 in Q1 are eliminated. So number 20, 19, 18, 17 and 16 out, and then the quickest 15 proceed to Q2, another 20 minutes, and then the slowest 5 again are eliminated. So we have number 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and 11 get eliminated. And then after that we have Q3, another 20 minutes, so is it 15 minutes here? And Q3 is all about now shootout for the pole position. So once the grid is set, that's how you're gonna start during the race. So when they talk about purple sector, it means you've gone quickest in a certain sector. And for a green sector, it means you've set your personal best. And for a yellow sector, it means you've gone below your personal best. So that's why when you're watching qualifying, below the screen you'll see someone has put in a purple, maybe in sector 1, but has put a yellow. So you won't go quickest, but you'll see someone else has put purple. Leclerc.
Pole position, P1.
Qualifying matches.
And then now you go. So the sectors are really important because it helps the engineers and the team to learn where they are gaining speed. Maybe is it sector 2 where we are losing speed, so maybe you need more downforce for the twisty bits, but maybe for the main straight we are really quick. Yeah, it just helps engineers get all this information so they can fine-tune their car. So yeah, I think that explains it.
Yeah, pretty much covers everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Right. Last question, guys. Explain the difference between dirty and clean air. Jeff?
And passing that.
What about you?
Okay, now let's take these two drivers as an example. So you have driver A and driver B. So driver A has no, there's nothing in front of him. So the driver is into clean air and is getting maximum aerodynamic performance. But driver B, who is stuck behind his car, is getting all this disturbance from the car ahead. So you have disturbed air, which is making this driver lose aerodynamic effect. So you have this driver lose downforce. His car is getting hot. The front tires are really graining because into the hot air of this car. So yeah, I think clean air is when you are literally into the atmosphere, like no one is ahead of you, and so you can bump in the laps. But the longer you are stuck in behind a car, it affects your performance because you're into the dirty air of this front car. Yeah,
that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all the questions we have for today.
Yes, and it was a very
awesome and enlightening
session.
Yeah.
Just your knowledge. Yeah,
I definitely learned a thing or two. I wasn't too sure on the clean and dirty air, to be honest.
To be honest, me too.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been a lot. So as you've seen, there's so many things to get to know, but they're not hard. So sometimes when you hear during a race all these terms being used, they're not really difficult. It's just you need to understand the concept, and once you understand the concept, you'll see why the drivers are using different concepts, or why the teams are using different designs. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So if you have any more conflicting, opinions, just let us know.
Just any questions.
Yeah, we shall do the homework for you. Shall research as much as we can, and then we'll be back here with another episode to enlighten you as well. Yeah, it's all about learning, sharing, and growing. Yeah.
So, are you guys excited for the Belgian GP?
For sure, man. Finally, the summer break is coming to an end.
Spa. You see that corner from the hill?
Yeah. You remember when, was it Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon, when they used to be teammates? At, was it Racing Point?
It's called, is it Luge?
It's called, what's his name?
Luge, something like
Luge.
that. Yeah.
We look it up.
That corner is crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
To die for.
Yeah, so that's been a lot. Peace.